Hollywood. Plymouth, the star of The Forward Look. And the Plymouth Dealers of America presents Climax. Tonight, starring Dan Duryea, Anne Rutherford, Steve McQueen, Edward Franz, Gloria Talbot, and now your host for Plymouth, Bill Lundigan.
Good evening. Trapped in a crossfire of human emotions, a hospital chief surgeon fights his own conscience to decide the fate of two men. He must weigh the possible sacrifice of one life for another. Drawing on years of experience, he defies the pressures of time and personal fear to face one crucial moment of judgment. Now on Climax, 4 Hours in White.
There's another lab report and tests on 30. Otherwise, all's quiet on the western front. Oh, my feet are killing me. Oh.
I knew that if I sat down... Relax. Did you check 30?
Yeah, there's no change. That poor kid.
Well, at least his twin brother's going to be all right.
Is there any word yet on how Dr. Whittaker's doing?
I don't think he's out of the operating room yet.
If he loses this one...
Clever.
I'm sorry. I might as well answer that. He won't give up. Evening, doctor.
How are the lower extremities?
Operative.
Evening, doctor.
Hello, nurse.
Oh, really, doctor? You know the rules.
If you won't tell, neither will I.
Conduct unbecoming the chief of surgery.
I was overwhelmed. Besides, that's the rule that applies to other doctors and nurses.
And what makes you an exception, doctor?
Because I'm married to the night supervisor of nurses.
Well, I must say you have very good taste.
Good evening, doctor.
Good evening, doctor.
Good evening. Boy, sure I'm looking forward to the day when you and I can temporarily desert the distress for a weekend of sun, surf, and sand.
Well, we didn't make it last weekend, doctor. Or the weekend before. Besides, aren't you forgetting one little chore? It spoils this weekend.
Fool that I am, dreaming of weekends. Okay, next week. Absolutely next week.
Sure. Here, additional tests on Henry Reeves.
What's the score?
The artificial kidney you ordered from San Francisco should be here any time now.
It's tough, isn't it, when there's not much any of us can do but wait? I'll look in on Hank.
Yes, doctor. And there you are.
Nature and her sordid secrets. We poke here, we poke there. Baffled and stumped by cells and corpuscles, viruses and fungi.
You better get down to Dr. Whittaker. Mert just called.
Last time I lost a patient, I disappeared for 2 days.
3.
3. To spread the word, I had pneumonia.
It happens to all of us, Jerry. To the best of us.
Well, I'm not the best, obviously.
Pull yourself together, Jerry. There's a lot of eyes and ears in this hospital.
I should have been an army cook.
I know what you can do. I picked you. I'd admit to bad judgment if I thought you weren't any good, but you're a good doctor, a darn good one.
Last 2 times up to bat, I struck out. That hurts the home team.
I accept your sensitivity, but not the defeat. Don't leave this hospital.
Dennis, I told you the last time.
Shut up. I know what you can do. I know how you feel. I've got that kidney case upstairs, and I still don't know how it'll go, and I may need you. So just remember, when I think you're over your head, I'll boot you out. I won't wait for the directors. You got that? Now stay put and don't leave till I check you out. Hello, Tony. How do you feel?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Steady. You go for a motorcycle ride.
Well, don't try it right away, huh? A ton of it was dumped on your brother.
Boy, when I think how that happened, Hank and I skidding on that wet pavement, hitting that embankment, you know the next thing I knew? I woke up here.
Just a laceration of the scalp. You were lucky.
You mean my brother wasn't so lucky? How is he?
There's no change.
Doctor, it's been 3 days.
He's still in shock. His blood pressure is dangerously low.
What's going to happen?
I don't know.
Doctor, all I want to find out is...
I don't know.
Doctor, he's my brother.
I don't know. I'm sorry, Tony. I know what you want me to say. I wish I could. I wish I could.
I get thrown 30 feet in the air and wind up with 16 stitches in my head.
You're
and my
sound
brother,
as a shillelagh.
Oh, I wish I hadn't seen my girl. I shouldn't have sent her that telegram. Can I make a long-distance phone call?
Sure. Who is she?
Her name's Susan. She goes to a college downstate. I didn't want her to tell her about the accident to someone else.
You can make it, but don't worry too much about Hank. We're flying in an artificial kidney from San Francisco.
Will that help him?
Well, first, Tony, you must understand what an artificial kidney is. It's a machine set up outside the body to function for the kidney. But it's not a substitute, and it's temporary.
How temporary?
Well, ordinarily, it might work long enough to enable the patient to rally and the damaged kidney to function again.
Is that the case with Hank?
Well...
Doc! Is he?
Tony...
No, wait a minute. Is my brother dying?
One kidney out. The other suspect and still hemorrhaging. His condition is a deteriorating one. Call your girl and then get some rest. Hey, who's watching the store?
Lover, she's pretty good.
Cute, too.
No, you and your window shopping.
Oh, I get confidential reports on the pulchritude in this hospital via the elevator out there.
What about Jerry?
He took it pretty hard. I got a little tough, I'm afraid.
I'll bet you didn't.
You know, sometimes I not only want to dig my toes in the sand, but also my head.
We'll make it yet, Dennis. Some weekend soon.
Yeah, we're going to tie up all the loose ends and hide. Far away from a telephone. Emergencies.
Need a suture, nurse?
You suture me fine.
Oh, you do need a rest. You know, I figured it out. It's been over 3 months since we had a weekend together.
3 months?
Mm-hmm.
Next week. Mamma mia, next week. I'm setting my mind on it right this minute.
Sullivan, 7th floor, please, immediately. Dr. Sullivan, 7th floor, please, immediately.
Through these squawk boxes pass the most beautiful weekends in the world.
Dr. Sullivan, 7th floor,
I hate
please,
you.
immediately. Dr. Sullivan, 7th floor, please, immediately. Dr. Berman, call admitting. Paging Dr. Berman, call admitting.
Where the devil is Sullivan? He's in charge here.
Right here, Dr. Skinner.
Look at this. You know that intravenous pylography indicates...
Yes, I can read. The other kidney's shot.
Henry Reeves is losing blood faster than we can give it to him. I'm afraid it's hopeless.
Mert, what's the latest on that kidney from San Francisco? I know not yet, but what are they doing? Sending it by ox cart? So there's a rainstorm in San Francisco. That's happened before. Get them on the phone for me, and then get in touch with Portland, Denver, and Los Angeles to cover. Go, girl, go. Dr. Skinner? We may have to transplant.
That's out of the question.
We discussed the probability of it with the supervisor, with Berman, DeSantis, and Whitaker when the boys were first admitted.
It's academic now, Doctor.
Tony and Hank Reeves are identical twins.
Impossible. What about his cardiac arrest?
It may never happen again.
Doctor, Tony Reeves' heart stopped during the operation.
Only for a few seconds. It's basically sound. Perhaps an anesthesia reaction. We won't use the same anesthetic again.
No, Tony Reeves is fully recovered.
Sullivan.
We won't endanger him again.
Dr. Sullivan. Telephone, please.
Yes, Mary? Oh, I see. Well, try it again in a half hour. And make those other calls. Thanks, Mary. We have to wait until the ceiling lifts for the plane to take off.
I'm sorry, Doctor.
Father's here, and he is raising Cain.
And Skinner said the boy's condition was absolutely nothing.
And Skinner told him that the boy's condition is impossible. I know. I thought you'd want to know, Betty. Thanks, Glover.
Gotta keep the old grapevine oil.
Yakima Medical. I'll connect you.
Dr. Sullivan.
Easy, Reeves.
Don't butter me,
easy.
Doctor. Dr. Skinner just told me about him.
I know. If you'll just calm down.
For 2 days I've been coming around. Tony's fine, but you won't let me see Henry. It was hopeless for him from the start, wasn't it?
Look, Reeves, we're doing everything possible.
Pussyfooting. At least Skinner came right out and told me.
Listen to me. Hank's condition is an extremely delicate one. If he loses that second kidney, obviously he cannot survive. And we're waiting for an artificial kidney. But that's only stopgap and merely postpones the inevitable.
Inevitable. There you are.
There is a slight chance that we can do something. In the past few years, there have been kidney transplants made from one twin to another. But they must be identical twins from the same egg cell like your boys.
You mean... Let me get this straight, Doctor. You can take a kidney from Tony and give it to Henry to save Henry's life?
That's the general idea.
Why didn't Dr. Skinner say that?
He didn't want to offer any false hopes, and neither do I. There are many factors to go into to set the stage for such an operation. And even if the operation goes well, the final results won't be known until the recipient lives out his normal span.
Well, who cares what happens later? I want him to live now. I know Tony will help his brother.
Reeves, I didn't quite mean to get into this aspect of it. But you see, there's a complication. While Tony was under anesthesia, his heart stopped.
Heart?
Cardiac arrest, we call it. It could happen again.
You mean...
He was technically dead for 10 seconds. It's one of those things we just don't understand. Don't understand it at all. And even though the operation goes well, he might not live, he might.
You think it couldn't happen again? But in case he tries to help his brother, it might.
That's the risk.
Let's see. I see. Let me get the picture. As things are now, Henry, even with an artificial kidney, can live weeks, days. And if you transplant,
It could take. Both would survive. Then again, it might not take. And it'd be just Tony. Or you could lose both boys. Kidney transplants are so new generally, and in this case so ticklish specifically, that any number of doctors can be at variance as to what to do.
Doctor, I'm ex-Army, Master Sergeant. I know how hard it is to make a decision. But since my retirement, I've done well in real estate, and if it's a question of money...
It isn't.
Then do what you have to do.
You misunderstand, Reeves, that logically we have to protect Tony. And that means that Hank...
I have faith in you, Doctor.
Of course you have faith in me now. But how would you feel, and how would I feel, if I came out of surgery, walked into this room and said, Reeves, both boys are dead?
Do what you have to do, Doctor.
And now your host for Plymouth, Bill Lundigan.
Have you ever bought a product because it was so obviously superior that it became, well, the only intelligent choice that you could make? Well, such a product is the big new Plymouth Suburban. It stands unchallenged as America's biggest station wagon value today because only Plymouth gives you 5 exclusive features that you want and can't get at any price in any other wagon on the market today. 1, Plymouth's Silver Dart styling. No other station wagon has such long, low, beautiful lines. You know the Plymouth Suburban will stay in fashion when the others look outdated. 2, Torsion Air Ride. Only Plymouth in its field has built in as standard equipment Torsion Air suspension, which gives you the smoothest, most relaxed driving you've ever experienced. 3, Plymouth is the only station wagon in its field with the disappearing rear window. It operates with the push of a button from 3 different locations. Inside the tailgate, outside the tailgate, and from the driver's seat. 4, Plymouth's exclusive rear-facing observation seat. Only Plymouth in its field has this convenient, comfortable 3rd seat, which folds down like this. No need to take it out of the car, as you must in the other low price, too. 5, Plymouth's amazing roominess. More room for luggage, more room for passengers. You just can't buy a bigger station wagon at any price. And there you have it. 5 good reasons why the Plymouth Suburban is your only intelligent choice. Remember them: Plymouth styling, Torsion Air Ride, disappearing rear window, observation seat, and roominess. All exclusive with Plymouth in the low price field. And all add up to the biggest station wagon value in America today. Why not see, drive, and buy this station wagon at your Plymouth dealers this week? And now we return to the second act of Climax, tonight starring Dan Duryea, Ann Rutherford, Steve McQueen, Edward Franz, and Gloria Talbot.
The plane left San Francisco 15 minutes ago. Good. Say, Mert, the machine transfers at Portland. Maybe you better check the weather there. Yes, because it might be raining in Portland, too. Okay? A fight? Who? My husband and Dr. Skinner. Oh, really, Mert? You sit there in your little cubby and you get more poop quicker than the UP, the AP, and the International News Service all put together. You're the limit.
Hi.
I tried to call Susan. School said she left this morning on an emergency. That's me.
Have you seen your father?
Yeah, he told me what you said about the operation. He's pretty busted up. Look, Doctor, Hank and I were never too close to him. Him being on duty and all, we just never saw much of him until he got out of the Army. He tried to make it up to us. He bought us that motorcycle.
Yeah.
My kidneys are all right, aren't they?
Fine.
The operation can be done.
It's been done? Yes.
And it may be the only way to save him, right?
Tony, listen closely, Yes, it may very well be the only way. But one kidney is like having one lung. It makes a change in the way a man must live, a more sheltered existence. And a mishap to the remaining organ, a stone...
I understand that there's a risk.
Very much so. Even if the operation goes well, it's still...
Look, Doctor, let's chance it.
Let's talk about it, huh?
Doctor, he's my brother. He'd do the same for me.
Tony, don't give me brotherly love. Self-preservation is a basic instinct and a completely worthy one.
Doctor, we're twins.
I don't want a decision now, because actually you shouldn't have to make one.
Why not?
Didn't your father tell you about the cardiac arrest?
No.
Well, while you were under anesthesia, your heart stopped beating. Technically, you were dead for 10 seconds. Then it started again. Now, that's a serious complication.
My heart? I never had any trouble. I was a 4-letter man.
It's just one of those things. But don't be alarmed. With no ill effects. Your heart is sound as a shillelagh. And I believe it was an anesthesia reaction. Sort of like an allergy to any anesthesia, possibly.
In other words, it could happen again. Well, whatever you say, Doctor.
I'll slap in again. Garvin, report to OB, please. Dr. Garvin, report to OB.
Hey, it's raining all along the coast. Would have been a wet weekend.
Wet or dry, it would have been ours.
Excuse me.
Yes?
I'm Susan Anders, and I fancy Anthony Reed.
Yes, he tried to call you just a little while ago.
Oh, well, is he all right?
He's fine, Miss Anders.
Dr. Sullivan's in charge of his case.
How do you do, Miss Anders?
Hello?
Room 729, right down the hall.
Thank you.
Come in. Hello, Susan. Just some fancy hemstitching, that's all.
Oh, see that now. All the way on the train, I kept thinking. I'm so glad you're all right.
Susan, Hank might be dying.
Oh, no. Oh, what's wrong with him?
Crushed kidneys. One is out, and the other one...
Can't they do anything?
Yeah, there's something I can do. Only me. Give him one of mine.
Give him.
Well, you know, you don't miss it. It's not like losing an arm or a leg.
No.
And there's something else. You know, when they were stitching me up, my heart stopped. Oh, just for a second.
Could it happen again?
No. No. Susan, we're going to get married. As soon as I get out of here.
Darling.
We're going to get married.
Darling, don't. Oh, don't, please. You mustn't.
I know it's tough, but you want me to help him, don't you? Don't you?
With the idea of you dying...
Susan, he's my brother. I'm the only way he can be saved.
And you might die?
Susan, help me, please.
I want to. I want to.
Well, say something. Susan, just say something. Susan. Susan, say... Susan?
Hold the fort. Didn't go well, Susan?
Oh. Could you talk to me, please?
Oh, wow, how did everything...
We'll be in the cafeteria, Doctor.
Girl was here, huh? Oh, it's not easy to take.
I took it.
Believe me, Tony, once people get over the shock of bad news, I find they're pretty basic and understanding.
Don't sob so, Doctor.
If she's everything you've known and loved her for, she'll come around.
I don't want pity. I've got enough for myself.
Okay.
Doctor.
Yes?
Do it. Do it for my brother.
You know the risk to yourself.
Doesn't matter.
Yes, it does. You made the gesture because you thought it was expected of you. But when I told you about your heart and said not to make a quick decision, you didn't bowl me over with one because you were scared.
Look, don't lecture me, please. Just do it.
Is this your way of getting back at your girl?
Please, Doctor, just do it.
Don't go away.
No. No, I like it here.
Sure.
All the way to the hospital, I kept saying, no matter what it is, or how long it takes, it's with Tony. And he's alive, and that's all that matters.
Is that all that matters? Is it?
Isn't it? It's bad enough to give up a kidney, but to risk his life, he should have considered me.
But Susan, it's for his brother, his twin. If Tony didn't help and Hank died, that could come between you the rest of your lives.
What would you do?
Susan, if you and Tony were already married and this happened, would you just walk out on him? I don't think you would. I have to get back. Look, don't worry about it too much. The doctors will do the right thing. They're very good. Why don't you go to the waiting room and talk to the boy's father? It might help you to sort out your thoughts. If you want me, I'll be upstairs. All right?
Dr. Sullivan, I've got Portland on the line, and Doctor, I'm going to listen in because I thought the game was going to be called on account of rain. Go ahead, please.
If the weather's that bad, don't wait it out. Get it on a truck right away. Yes, I'm sorry, too.
Thanks, brother.
I hope so.
Take a break. Sure.
Thank you. Well, it's on the way.
Shall I notify Dr. Skinner?
And by this time, Mert's got it all over the hospital. Betty, there's only one way to save Hank Reeves. Transplant.
Now, look, once the machine arrives...
It only postpones the inevitable. Make him a vegetable, that's all.
Dennis, don't do it.
Tony Reeves is willing.
All right, so Tony Reeves is willing. Considering his cardiac arrest, you had no right to put it to him.
Hank's blood pressure practically unobtainable. He's dying before our eyes, only 21. And every minute that goes by.
Oh, Dennis, I know you want to help.
At the rate he's losing blood, he'll be dead before the machine gets here. Call the supervisor.
Dennis.
Call him.
Dr. Fincannon, please. Dr. Skinner is sure to raise
Never mind him. Lay up, Mert. Steve Sullivan. I want another quick check on heart, blood, and kidneys. The works on Tony Reeves. And I want a quick job, a darn quick one, so hop on it, will you?
Dr. Fincannon's on his way home. I left a message for him to return as soon as possible.
All right. Well, let's get prepared.
Yes, Doctor.
It's understandable. Do you want to change your mind?
No.
There'll be tests and papers to sign and ready to go in an hour.
Okay.
Then get back to your room.
Jane, Sullivan's going to transplant from one twin to the other. Hold on, I got another call. Yakima Medical. No, I'll connect you with maternity. Aggie, he is going to transplant. No, Skinner doesn't know yet, but when he does... Hold on, I got another call. Yakima Medical.
And that's it. If you have any second thought on the matter, let's have it now.
Whatever you say, Doctor.
Don't hedge. Don't abdicate your parental responsibility. I've laid out the risk. I've got to have your backing.
Yes.
All right. These papers to sign, then we're ready to go.
How long will it take?
At least 4 hours. Why don't you go home? You could use some rest.
No, I'll wait. Good luck.
Here and available. And Jerry.
What are you up to now, Sullivan? I've just come from the lab and found out you're running tests.
All right, Doctor. All
Don't
right.
patronize me, young man. You don't consult with me? You act unilaterally?
I anticipated your objection, Doctor, and with all due respect to the validity of what you have to say, I believe I'm acting in the best interest.
We have rules and regulations, Doctor. Policy. Policy. You're a physician, not a savior. What kind of a shell game are you playing with these boys' lives?
Are you accusing me?
You want to kill Tony Reeves.
No, I don't want to kill Tony Reeves. I want to save Hank Reeves.
And risk losing them both. I'm shocked. Deeply shocked that any responsible surgeon...
Look, Skinner.
Dr. Skinner.
Dr. Skinner, I have the boy's permission, I have the father's permission.
Neither of them are in a position to assess or understand what's involved. Did you point out the terrible risk?
Right down the line to both of them.
Well, I know it's only temporary, but the artificial kidney will be here by midnight.
Dr. Skinner, we have to take out the second kidney and then set up the machine. That's one operation. Then, if the machine does allow him to rally, we have to have a second operation to transplant his brother's kidney to him. Now, I propose to eliminate the first, get to the second, because I'm convinced the boy's body cannot stand the shock of 2 surgeries.
We argue the same point, Doctor. I am reconciled to Henry Reeves' condition, but this brother is not to be exposed to death. There's no precedent.
Then let's make one. There can't be a second time unless there's a first.
Dr. Sullivan, we don't seem to agree on very much around here. And though I'd never accuse you of unethical practice...
You're darn right, you...
I'm not unmindful, Doctor, that in the past year there's been considerable publicity on kidney transplants.
If you mean great strides have been made in that direction, yes.
I mean that if you go against all medical practice and somehow pull it off, you'll grab a lot of newspapers' face.
Of all a lousy...
I forbid the operation. As assistant administrative head of this hospital, I expressly forbid it.
Oh, no, you don't. You know darn well that as chief of surgery, I will proceed.
Well, you've never had a showdown, Dr. Sullivan. I'm sorry it's come to that. Apparently, this is a matter for the supervisor. I'll contact Dr. Kincannon at once.
He's being contacted now, Doctor.
I see.
The old goat, did you hear of all the wild
Yes,
cockeyed...
I heard, and you're both wrong. He resents you. According to the grapevine, you may be Fincannon's successor, and it just doesn't set well with his 10-year seniority here.
That decision is not mine, it's Fincannon's.
Well, you can hardly expect Skinner to take out his frustrations on Fincannon. Tony Reeves has agreed, not so much for his brother, but because Susan turned him down. Dennis, if we could just get the kids together again, let them talk it out. They'd probably arrive at the same conclusion, but it would fortify Tony and reinforce your position.
You're on Skinner's side, huh?
Oh, Dennis, it isn't a matter of being on anyone's side. There are good intentions on both sides. Well, suppose it were the other way around, and Skinner were chief of surgery. You'd insist on all factors being in order.
Betty, if I don't go according to the book, it's because I believe it's there to guide, not constrict. Play it safe, Doctor. Don't stick your neck out, Doctor. The rules are protect you, Doctor. Ah!
Let Susan talk to Tony.
No.
Dennis.
No.
If both boys should die...
That's enough, Betty.
What if Fincannon orders you not to proceed?
Then when Hank Reeves dies, and he will, I won't sign his death certificate.
Here's Mary Costa with a word from Plymouth.
Hi. I'd like to ask a question of you married women in our audience tonight, and incidentally, you husbands can listen in, if you want to. Now, ladies, is your life everything you want it to be? Or do your daily activities begin and end within the 4 square walls of your home? Now, you could be free. Free to participate in the world around you. And after the housework is done, the key to this freedom, to this new happiness, is this. The key to a Plymouth all your own. Now, no longer must you depend on friends or your husband to go where you want to go, when you want to go there. Now you're a mother who can give your children all the fun and freedom of modern living. Take them places and help them do things. And your Plymouth is just perfect for this. So safe for you and the children, because every door has safety latches. And Plymouth's big wraparound windshield will let you see much more of the road. You also know that Plymouth's total contact brakes will respond quickly, surely, with a touch of your toe. And as a mother, this is especially important. In your new Plymouth, you're a wife who gets out and keeps up with the latest fashions, so you can stay as attractive as you really are. And you travel in the latest fashion in Plymouth. It's as easy to handle as your automatic washing machine. Just push a button, and off you go. On the road, you're driving a car responsive to your slightest command. With the ease of full-time power steering, torsion-air ride, and luxurious appointments, Plymouth lets you arrive at social engagements fresh and relaxed. dainty as when you set out. There's just no doubt about it, ladies. You need and should have a Plymouth all your own. Make your life everything you want it to be. Talk it over right now with your Plymouth dealer, and he'll be glad to show you how easy it is to own the key to your own freedom and happiness. The key to your very own Plymouth.
Thank you, Mary. And now we return to the third act of 4 Hours in White, from a story, The Surgeon's Decision, written by Ronald Sercombe and adapted especially for Climax by Oliver Crawford.
Dr. Whittaker, please report to surgery. Dr. Whittaker, please report to surgery.
Yes, Mert. All right, I'll tell him. Thank you.
Dr. Whittaker, please report to surgery. Dr. Whittaker, please report to surgery.
No Whittaker yet, huh?
Berman and DeSantis have responded, but...
I'll find him.
Oh, Dennis, Dr. Fincannon's house called. He'll be here in about 15 minutes.
Uh-huh. Well, see you in surgery, nurse.
Surgery, doctor.
Dr. Whittaker, please report to surgery. Dr. Whittaker,
Hi, Doc.
Please
You seen
report
Dr.
to
Whittaker?
surgery.
Yeah, he's in there.
You're being paged, Doctor.
I know.
It might be a matter of life and death.
What I'm afraid of.
You could be suspended for this.
Maybe taking the bull by the horns would be the best thing. For the hospital, for the medical profession, for humanity.
I'm going to need you in surgery. A double operation. Kidney transplant. I want you down there in exactly 10 minutes. You got that?
For Pete's sake, Dennis, I've failed. Can't you get that through your head? I got it through mine. This time, no pretense about sickness or disappearing. You can't coddle me or cover up for me anymore, school chum.
You're my assistant chief of surgery.
I'm a butcher.
I got enough to think about without propping you up. My head is way out on a chopping block, so hear this. You show up, strong and steady, because if you let me down, I'll nail you, brother. I'll nail you so tight that you'll have to get aspirin at the corner drugstore with a prescription. Now, that's plain enough. On your feet. On your feet, I said. 10 minutes, Dr. Whittaker.
Brave thing Tony's doing. You don't like me, Susan.
You don't like me. I felt it often enough.
I admit I wasn't happy about your engagement, but not because I don't like you. I was jealous of you, because you're taking one of my boys away. Kind of silly now, looking back. But I was away so much of the time in the Army. Missed their growing up. After my wife died, I guess I felt guilty that so much of the burden had been hers. I wanted to be close to them. They're only 21. I've only known them for such a short time. I tried to make it up. I bought them a motorcycle. That lousy motorcycle.
Doctor, everything's in order. We'll operate as soon as the supervisor gets here. And we'll get back to you both as soon as possible.
Could I see him? I mean, just for a minute?
He's in the operating room.
But he doesn't know how I feel. I mean, how I really feel. I love him. It's all right. I want him to know.
I hope that he will, miss.
Dr. Sullivan, please report to surgery.
Excuse me.
Dr. Sullivan, please report to surgery.
But he may never know.
Dr. Whittaker, please report to surgery. Dr. Whittaker, please report to surgery.
I won't refute anything Skinner may have told you, Dr. Fincannon, but urgency dictates procedure. I hope the results will be satisfactory. That's all I can say.
Dennis, a right-thinking surgeon...
Dr. Fincannon,
Now, don't interrupt. I've discussed the matter with Skinner and with the others. Berman sides with him, DeSantis with you.
No, Skinner isn't wrong, but neither am I.
Dennis, I'll ask one question. One, and I want an honest answer. If you were in Tony Reeves' place, would you...
Transplant.
Dennis, I've been behind this desk a long time, steering a middle course between young Turks like yourself and old war horses like Skinner. I can't get personally involved in any case. It isn't good policy. But you're the chief of surgery, and any previous instructions, in my opinion, have been canceled out by emergency conditions. So, good luck, Dennis.
Thank you, Dr.
Hi.
Ready?
Patient's ready, doctor.
Watch the heart closely.
Ready?
Patient is ready. Can't get the pulse or blood pressure. The heart stopped beating. I think you ought to open the chest.
We'll wait 8 seconds.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got the heart beating again. I get a normal pulse and a good blood pressure. You can go ahead now.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Dennis.
It's a good job, Jerry. Darn good job.
I acted like a fool.
Man, I'm beat.
Hi.
And how?
Nice work, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse.
You're a stubborn man, husband.
You're lovely, wife. Let's get cleaned up. Well, stopped raining. Maybe it's going to be a nice weekend after all.
Oh, don't start that again, Dennis.
I know, but I just like to needle myself. Man, I'm beat.
Dennis. About Skinner.
He wasn't wrong.
I know. But Finn Cannon backing you up. You know what that means.
Oh, what does that mean?
Really? The heir apparent becomes more apparent.
No, Betty. I found out something tonight. I don't want to be an administrator. Not yet, anyway. You have to have a certain coolness of perception for that job. I get too involved. I belong on the floor, and I'm going to stay there for a while, anyway. I'll have a talk with Skinner in the morning. And don't run off with any interns till I get back.
Five minutes.
Go in alone. You belong with Tony. I'll be in with Hank.
I'm here. I never left. I'll never leave you. I love you.
Well, I got my second win.
Dennis, would you really like to go away and dig your toes in the sand?
That's what I like about my wife. She's a great kidder.
Well, we can, and we're leaving right now. We are going down to the children's ward, into the playroom, take off our shoes, and dig our toes in the sandbox.
In the sandbox? Love this woman.
In just a moment, you'll meet Jack Benny, who will tell us something about next week's exciting Shower of Stars. Friends, you may think you're looking at the interior of one of America's most expensive automobiles. But actually, you're looking inside the Plymouth Savoy, America's lowest price two-door hardtop. Look over its silver dart styling, from low, broad hood to directional stabilizer tail fins. Look over its advanced features. This Plymouth Savoy is not a stripped-down model. You get all of Plymouth's exclusive features, like torsionaire suspension, total contact brakes, proved economy and durability as standard equipment. Now, compare it for price. The Plymouth Savoy costs $104 less than comparable models of Car A, and $49 less than Car B. So, friends, if you're looking for a car with beauty and all the features you want, a car that's real easy on the budget, see, drive, and buy the lowest priced hardtop in the low price 3, the Plymouth Savoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, next Thursday on Chrysler Corporation's Shower of Stars, we celebrate a momentous occasion, Jack Benny's 40th birthday. So come along with Mary Costa and me while we talk to Jack about the show.
Hello, Jack.
Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack.
Hi,
Nice to
Bill.
see you.
Well, Jack, how does it feel to be 40?
Well, now, wait a minute, Mary. Don't rush me. You know, I'm not going to be 40 until next week. I know it's frightening, you know. 40 years, it sounds so old.
50 sounds even older.
Well, I'm not going to worry about that until I get to it.
You'll hit 39 again before that happens.
Yeah, I guess so. But, you know, it'll be quite a thrill, though, having my birthday party on the Shower of Stars. And then there'll be so many people with me on that show that I've been associated with,
That's right.
you know, through the years, radio and television, or nearly everybody. Have you the list?
I surely have right here. Let's see, it'll be Van Johnson, Paul Douglas, Phil Harris, Mary Livingston, Joe Stafford, Bob Crosby, Dennis Day, Andy Devine, Frank Parker, Rochester, Johnny Green. Yeah, there must be 20 other stars here, and they'll all be on the show.
And listen, Jack, after the show, all of us are going to a big party at the Coconut Grove.
Oh, a party at the
right.
Coconut Grove. Well, gee, that'll be expensive. Who's paying for this big party?
CBS, of course.
Oh. Well, if I'd have known that, I would have been 40 10 years ago.
Come on, Bill, let's get back to Climax. Bye, Jack.
All right. So long, Mary. So long,
See you
Bill.
next Thursday, Jack.
Gee, as long as CBS is paying for it, next year I might be 41.
Be sure to watch Shower of Stars next week for Jack Benny's 40th birthday with a great all-star cast. This is Bill Lundigan saying thank you, and remember, when you're behind the wheel, you're in a position of responsibility. Treat it as such.
2 weeks from tonight, The Secret Love of Johnny Spain, starring Terry Moore, James Best, Gene Raymond, Audrey Totter, Conrad Nagel. The following week, Climax will present Albert Anastasia, His Life and Death, starring Don Amici, Eli Wallach, Ted DeCorsia, Doe Abaddon. And 4 weeks from tonight on Climax, The Thief with the Big Blue Eyes, starring Lou Ayres, Betty Furness, Michelle Ray. Week after week, top drama, top stars on Climax and Shower of Stars. Climax was brought to you by Plymouth, star of The Forward Look, and the Plymouth Dealers of America. Next on CBS television, Playhouse 90 brings you a glittering story of the French Riviera starring Donna Winter and guest star Ben Gazzara. Art Gilmore speaking. Portions of this program were pre-recorded. Climax has been selected for viewing by our armed forces overseas and is a CBS television network production.
Stay tuned for Donna Winter, Charles Corbin, Pamela Brown, Vivian Nathan, and guest star Ben Gazzara in Playhouse 90, next on the CBS television network.